Wow. Thank you, Mark. And thank you, Lutheran Social Services of Illinois. This is a great group today. As I told the leaders of Oak Park, who I just met, I worked at Housing Forward, which of course is the homeless service organization right here in Oak Park, Berwyn, and Maywood in 2008 to 2010, out of a church basement. And I've worked out of a few church basements in my day. And really good things happen in church basements. So today, I get to be the state representative for much of the far northwest side of the city of Chicago. And I've been that for the last 6 years. And I get to do that, and I get to be a legislator, as Mark said, with a social work ethos and with a social work license, which is great. And when I think back to when I started my first post-college job 21 years ago at a group home for kids with special needs, I never would have imagined these types of collaborative moments, full of community members, which is very hopeful, but as Mark outlined, this is also a very scary and dark time for behavioral health and human services. And if you don't know, I will tell you, Medicaid is the largest funder of behavioral health care in the state of Illinois, and it's facing more of an existential threat than ever. Even better than just being a legislator, I get to do that work alongside a robust, big, compassionate, effective human service and behavioral health organization right in my backyard. And of course, I'm talking about the Portage-Cragen location of Lutheran Social Services, which is awesome, right in my backyard. And we do the work in Springfield together in the Human Service Appropriations Committee, in the Mental Health and Addiction Committee, in the Medicaid Working Group, but we also do the work in the community. We have to do the work in the community. And what does that look like? I don't know if your elected official does it. I hope they do, but here's what it looks like. A week and a half ago, I sat in a meeting in our local police station up in Jefferson Park, and Harrison, who's a leader on the home team with Lutheran Social Services, was there in that meeting, and we brainstormed with the police and other service providers, what can we do better to bring resources and support to our neighbors living unhoused at the Jefferson Park Transit Center who are struggling with addiction? That's what community work looks like. And then just this morning, I sat in a Zoom meeting with 3 other LSSI staff planning a mental health community education event on what we can do different and better as alternatives to 911 for our neighbors struggling with behavioral health support. And then next week, on Monday, when I look at my calendar, I will be standing with LSSI cutting the ribbon on a Narcan vending machine at the Jefferson Park Transit Center. And I guarantee you, we have never had a Narcan vending machine anywhere near the far northwest side of Chicago. And that is incredibly important. And so all that to say, I am so grateful for the recognition, but more importantly, I'm grateful for the ongoing partnership in the community and in Springfield doing the policy work with Lutheran Social Services. And we will continue to do that policy work in Springfield. We are going to stay dogged about changing our laws and policies so we're actually treating mental health care like health care, because we all know that it is. We feel it in our bones, and we and our families need it to be so. And part of that work means staying dogged to make sure that our payers, like our commercial insurers, treat mental health care and physical health care alike, and that we're doggedly focused on making sure our insurance companies are increasing their reimbursement rates so providers actually join insurance networks so people can use their insurance for their mental health care. And I know there's some of you out there that can't do that today. And that's not right. We're going to stay focused on changing that, all the while we continue to show up in our communities and do the community work too, because it is all connected. So thank you so much to Lutheran Social Services of Illinois. I know I have some wonderful far northwest side neighbors here who are a part of Irving Park Lutheran Church, and I'm just very grateful to be with you. hand it over to Mark.